difficult for us to do, as you say, to live. You know, you look at all the diseases that are plaguing things like deer these days, and the deer ticks, and that causes different diseases, and the inability to eat red meat. You take in consideration the genetically altered stuff, the 3D printed meats, and all the chemical lab grown this, that, and other vaccinations being sprayed on our foods, and all the insanity that is going on in the world today. And if you don't know none of this stuff's happening, you might want to get some research started, because this stuff's happening. And this ain't fringe news articles or anything. This is actual news, which is more scarier, because if they're actually reporting it on actual news services, that means it's probably 1,000 times worse. And really what they're doing is just kind of saying something so they can say they said something, but they're not actually saying anything useful. Because unfortunately, that tends to be the way the news goes. They're either pushing an agenda or they're trying to steer you a certain way away from certain things. We live in interesting times. And that you got to think. You may say, okay, well, the dietary laws were given to Moses upon the mountain that didn't exist prior. Well, actually, it did, because when you look at Noah, he was commanded to put 2 of each kind of animal upon the ark. And unless it was a clean animal, all the clean animals were 7 of a kind. 7s versus 2. So there would have been 2 dogs, but there would have been 7 of, I can't remember if it's 7 females, 7 males, or if it's 7 total. You got to think I'm running off my memory only. But there was clean and unclean animals at the time of the flood. And then once the flood ended, and the first thing that Noah did was he built an altar to the Most High, and he sacrificed one of each of all the clean animals on that altar. I think it was only 2 of each kind, which surprisingly a lot of people seem to want to forget that there was a difference there.